Did you know that if you have a dog and if you work at home, you can actually use your dog as a tax write-off?
What? Hey, you guys love our React videos, so guess what? The content team, never seen before us, has put together a whole new slew of videos. Let's see what they've cooked up for us.
All right, here we go. Let's jump right in.
I just found a glitch in the stock market. So you want to go to TradingView, pick any stock like AMC, and choose the Hike and Ashley candles. Whenever the candles make a flat bottom, like right here, you want to get calls. And when it makes a flat top, get puts. Don't believe me? Try it out yourself.
How many of these buy low, sell high people are out there?
Well, I don't know if you heard this. He wasn't even talking about buying. He was doing
It's a
calls.
glitch.
He was doing calls and puts. Did you hear that part?
No.
He was doing options based on that. So he's not even just doing like normal, oh, I'm going to wait till it's low and buy, and then I'm going to wait till it's high and sell. He was doing derivatives on that. I can't imagine what would go wrong with that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's easy to look at a chart from last week, last month, last year, and say, hey, here's where it stopped going down. Here's where it stopped going up. Buy at the bottom, sell at the top. If only it was that easy. The reality of an investment marketplace is, and we could have gone back to his chart and you could see halfway down, what if he thought that was the bottom?
He would've got it all wrong.
Or what if when you got to he thought was the top, it kept going up. That's the reality of how investing is. So you just quit timing the market and just let the market, let innovation, let technology get you your successes.
All right, let's keep going.
What's something really important that you should have been taught in school but
Great
you
air.
weren't?
That your 401k is not a very good retirement option. It's an investment plan, not much of a retirement plan. But you've been sold by the industries that make trillions of dollars in management fees and taxes
He's
that
selling
it is your
something.
best option. Financial advisors, government. So if you want a good retirement plan, look to life insurance.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
there
we
you go.
Plot
Even with a
thickens.
wink.
Plot thickens. Brian, we know, and it has been statistically proven, that most millionaires who hit millionaire status actually do so in their employer-sponsored retirement account. For most folks, it is the one account that is the largest, and it's the one account that grows, that gets the largest amount of contributions put into it year over year. And the reason is there's a tax incentive to do that. Either current year tax savings, or if you're doing the Roth portion, future year tax savings. I think that's bogus advice. 401ks are amazing vehicles, or retirement plans are amazing vehicles for building wealth.
Well, he said, the only people who want this is the government and financial advisors. Like they're in cahoots with each other. Like they're having secret meetings once a month to say, hey, let's put
How
this
do we
together.
get the average
The
American?
reality is, the government is involved in the fact that they incentivize huge tax benefits because it's good for the society. It's good for their citizenship to be able to have financial independence. So they do incentivize that behavior. The 401k is just turning that into an actual useful vehicle. This is the fulfillment of that tax incentive. And look, there's nothing wrong with lowering your taxes today, investing. And look, if you're doing like a Roth 401k, it's completely tax-free.
Right.
Yes, you're giving money after tax, but all the growth over all those years, that compounding growth is completely for your benefit.
I don't know if I should be investing right now. The market's at an all-time high.
Oh, we know her.
Maybe I'll just wait for things to cool off. The market's been at an all-time high since January, so if you would have stopped investing then, you would have missed all of the growth this year. That's 24% in growth you would have missed out on. Actually, the stock market's been hitting all-time highs since 2013, so
Amen.
if you stopped investing then, you would have missed out on one of the biggest bull runs we've seen.
Yep.
Okay, but what if I invest my money and then the market crashes? Good question, and no one knows when a crash is coming. It could happen tomorrow, it could happen 5 years from now.
Yep.
But it is going to happen because that is part of the normal cycle of the stock market. Worrying about a crash is a waste of time and short-term thinking. Long-term investors don't think about these things because we know we're in it for years, and even if the market crashes, that's plenty of time for your money to recover and continue to grow.
I thought that was brilliant.
And
That was really good.
I think the stuff that she said was absolutely perfect. That if you think the stock market is high now, or at all-time highs now, wait till you see it 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. It's always going to be approaching all-time highs because ultimately the market, at least is what you want, is for it to always keep going up. And okay, what if this is going to be a downturn? What if it crashes? Well, that's normal. We know that about twice every decade, the market's going to have a big pullback. It's just part of being an investor. And that's exactly what she said. I think she hit the nail on the head.
Well, since this might not be our normal audience, I want you to know in the short term, it can feel like that yo-yo. Yes, you're throwing it down. It's the market every day is going up and down, and that feels like a roller coaster. Why would I want to put $1 of my money into that? But I'm telling you, it's a yo-yo as you walk up a steep mountain, because you're going to look back 10 years from now, and yes, every day it's going to be going up and down, but you're going to be at such a higher place. And that's exactly what she was hitting at, is that if you think where it is now, wait until you see what the price is 10 to 15 years in the future. Don't worry yourself about timing the market.
I think in the next 3 to 5 years, crypto has the potential to make more millionaires than real estate ever has. I think my first investment was like $2,500 into Bitcoin. And that was what, 8-9 months ago. And since then, I've just immersed myself in it. You know, I've definitely lost money on some coins.
Right.
And other ones, you know, I've made multi-millions of dollars on one coin. I think it's like the internet. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. People say, you know, invest like 10% of your wealth or whatever. I'm well past that, so yeah. I'm definitely hoping for the best.
Here's what I've noticed very quickly about dabbling in cryptocurrencies. The volatility is just incredible because crypto does not generate dividends. It doesn't generate rent. It doesn't innovate. Blockchain can innovate the technology of it, but the actual purchase of your Bitcoin is not going to innovate. So he's just hoping that the price he bought, like his first purchase at $2,500, that at some point in the future, somebody's going to pay more than what he paid.
When it comes to wealth building, it's not always about how much money you can make. It's about how much money you get to keep over the long term. So it's great if he bought some coins and he made a lot of money and he timed that really, really well. To hear him say that he still has all of his wealth riding in that, I just don't know that that would be the place I would be in, because we don't know the future. And I certainly would not take the stance that something like crypto that's been around for a few years would replace completely something like real estate, which has been around for thousands of years.
So know the time and place. There's nothing wrong with investing in crypto, but just make sure you're doing it at the right time after you've already started saving 20 to 25% of your gross income into more traditional investments. There is nothing wrong with building your millions in index funds, real estate, and then once you've accomplished those basics where you're too big to fail, sure, put that cherry on top of that sundae and buy that crypto. Have no problem with it, but know the time and the place.
Did you know that if you have a dog and if you work at home, you can actually use your dog as a tax write-off? This cutie right here is actually my guard dog, and he protects my home for any theft. If you can prove to the IRS that your dog works for you, you can get dog food, vet bills, and even training written off as a business expense.
All right, Mr. CPA, I'm gonna let you take this one.
There is a special column of tax deductions out there, and look, this is a fancy one. Everything's deductible until you get caught.
Okay.
What that means is
the dog is deductible.
You could put anything as deductible, but eventually, if you get caught, it is shaky ground. I mean, did you see that dog? All you'd have to do is pull up this TikTok video and be like, that is the cutest dog. I bet it gives the best snuggles, and you know it's got a wet nose. It's probably great. But if I'm a robber, because that's what he's basing this entire premise off of. It's deductible because it's protecting my house and I work from home. That dog ain't protecting anything. And that's one of those ancillary things. And I can tell you, the thing you worry about with audits is you do not want to give off the perception that there's deceit or fraud, because guess what? They can mushroom. They can go from your personal returns to business returns. They can go back years. They can mushroom out the audit if they find any type of behavior that makes it seem like maybe this is not on the up and up. Putting your dog on your tax return as a deduction, probably going to set off some sensors that maybe this is the mushroom type of audit.
This might be a stupid question, but should I get a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage? I think the choice is obvious. You pay me off in 15 years and you'll pay way less interest. Wait a second, he should choose me. I offer lower monthly payments, plus you can always pay me off early. Trust me, kid, you don't want debt weighing on you for 30 years. You'll be a grandpa by then. Interest rates are low. Why not lock them in for 30 years? Okay, I've heard enough. I think I'm going to let you decide. Would you recommend a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage, and why?
What do you think, Ben?
So I think it's really, really interesting. You know, conventional wisdom used to be, all right, pay off a 15-year mortgage, you will save yourself interest. But we're in a very unique time right now with mortgage rates being incredibly, incredibly low. So if you actually look at the benefit of taking off a 15-year mortgage and paying it off, you may be surprised to see that it's not actually as advantageous as taking the 30-year mortgage. We tell folks all the time that being debt-free is really, really cool. Having the ability to be debt-free is just as cool. So I often tell folks, do the 30-year mortgage, pay it off on its normal schedule, the difference in what you would have paid on the 15-year, take those dollars and invest them. And I'm willing to bet that over the next 15 years, you will likely earn more on your investments than the mortgage rate you are paying. And at that time, if you so chose, you could just write a check to pay off your mortgage. But you probably won't, because you recognize how valuable that low interest mortgage and that high return investment account actually are.
Right now, affordability of housing is getting
huge. Yep.
crushed because we're in
point.
this inflationary period. You're going to be so thankful for that 30-year mortgage on what that allows you while you're getting into that first home versus the constriction that comes from a 15-year mortgage. Use that extra flexibility. It will help you out in this inflationary period, and you're going to be so thankful. And then as soon as you get to the point, make sure you're investing that difference. It's so powerful to get that spread between what the market's getting you and that super low historic rate.
So basically, do y'all remember the people that got into Bitcoin early and now they're retired and billionaires? Well, there's a new coin called Shiba Inu.
Oh boy.
Basically, $56 56 will get you 7 million Shiba Inu coins.
Millionaire.
Right now, as an 18-year-old, I have 14 million Shiba Inu coins. When this value of the dollar goes up for the Shiba Inu coin, say if it goes up $1, I get $14 million. Literally, just that simple. This is why they don't want you to know about this.
These type of coins, they have a poop coins, and I don't know anything about shiitake or whatever the coin that she said it was.
I don't think it was shiitake.
But it was one of those things. Well, it sounded close enough to my poop coin
Yeah,
name.
it's
That's
about
probably
poop.
where my brain
Shiitake,
went.
got it.
But it is one of those things. Be very careful, because a lot of these coins, I understand what's going on with crypto and the desire to take advantage of some of these alternative currencies or commodities, how they're classified. But it's one thing to just jump on the next thing so you can take $57, become a millionaire in it, and then hope you can pump it up enough to where you can dump it at a higher price in the future. That I don't know that I think that's a winning strategy.
I worry that she was just doing a math crime. This is no different than if you were to go buy a penny stock and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy this stock for a penny." And one day when it's worth $1, I'll have 100 times more money. Yeah, that's true. But there's no certainty that that penny stock is going to turn into a $1 stock. That is far from the normal. That is the rare occasion. I worry that she thinks it's a given that shiitake, I can't remember the actual name of it now. I think it is not a certainty that's going to actually reach $1, and that poor girl is going to unfortunately have 14 million shares of
you
nothing.
know the game that's going on TikTok is that she's hoping enough people watch that video, go look at it, now little might move enough, she gets enough people to pay attention to it.
That maybe
it's going to push up that price, and then she gets to get out of it while they're left holding the bag.
Hey, that's Dave.
What's he? But he's letting it get wet.
Well, it's when you've been saving for.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. That advice from the 90s, when housing was so affordable that you could say easily, hey, go put down 20% on your first home, where you might find out, look, education was more affordable too. You could go to college by working a part-time job and you'd be fine. But times have changed. That first home is running from you. So a lot of people, if you are waiting to save 20% and the housing market is going up 10 to 15% in the area, you'll save for the next year and you'll look and go, oh my goodness, I don't even have a higher percentage because the house appreciated so much. So this is why we tell people, take the grace, take the flexibility on that first home purchase. You can put down 3 to 5%, so that way you get the access to it in the beginning. Now, what you do need to do is put some parameters of safeguards, some guardrails, so it doesn't exceed too much of your income where you're buying more than your wallet or your purse can actually afford.
Yeah, if you want to know the number, you don't want your housing payment to be more than 25% of your gross income. That is a nice guardrail to keep in place. And keep in mind, this 3 to 5% down payment is only on your first home. If you're trying to upgrade or you're trying to move up homes, then you do need to stick that 20% down payment number.
Never take advice from a millionaire.
Oh,
A millionaire
great.
gets a little bit of money, and the first thing they want to do is protect their money. Guy makes 100 grand first time in his life, he wants to protect his 100. He makes 5,000 first time, he wants to protect it. He goes into protection rather than going out and getting more money. Go out today and just ask, you making enough money? Ask 10 people, 6 to 7 of them are going to say, no, I'm good. They can barely make ends meet. You want to make more money?
Why has he got money in this
Money's
hand?
not everything. Money won't make me happy.
Why isn't
They're
his shirt buttoned
complacent
up
with
more?
what they have. Why? Because they're trying to protect it rather than they get more of it. And by the way, they think that the money that they now have is
I wish you wouldn't have
theirs.
told me about the shirt
Money
button.
is never yours.
all
All
I see
money
now.
that you will have today, all money that you have in the bank, all money you will have in the future is someone else's money.
When it comes to wealth building, it's not, I disagree with Grant. It's not always about how much money you make. How can I make more? How can I make more? How can I make more? You reach a certain level in your wealth building where it's not about how much you can make, it's about how much do you get to keep over the long term. So prudent strategies make sense when it comes to building up wealth. We've seen this over and over again. We have a number of clients who work with Brian that have very healthy 7-figure portfolios, but they never made more than $100,000 a year. They never even cracked 6 figures, but they were consistent and diligent savers who invested consistently, had well-diversified portfolios, and as they age, they changed their risk tolerance and the risk in their portfolio to protect some of those assets. I think Grant is setting a lot of people up for failure by telling them, no, go be risky, go do more, go get more, go do more, go get more. I don't know that that's great advice.
This is how I create abundance.
Abundance essential oil.
Oh, wow.
And she sings in her singing bowl.
That's not really her singing, because she has great tone.
She takes a drop of her essential oil and then she sings into her abundance bowl, and she understands that abundance is all around her.
I do think you have to be an active participant in your own success and
Sure.
wealth creation. And that's why we are constantly giving you the building blocks through how do you invest? What's the first step through the financial order of operations of getting your deductibles covered, getting that free money from your employer, making sure you're paying off the high interest debt, making sure that you're taking advantage of the Roth accounts and investing. This is what creates wealth. This might be a great hobby to work on your tone, to soothe yourself, to focus on, centering what's going to motivate you.
I think this is the way that you create abundance. You have a well thought out plan in place and you execute that well thought out plan over a long period of time. And what we love doing is speaking into that plan. That's the whole reason we do this show, so that we can help you learn all of these concepts that we teach. You can then apply that to your financial life and you can watch your overall financial circumstance grow. We think that's how you achieve abundance.
Guys, thanks so much. We love watching these React videos. Hey, keep sending suggestions. The content team is always looking to get inspired by some of your suggestions, but go check us out. MoneyGuy.com. I'm your host, Brian Preston, Mr. Bo Hansen. Money Guy team, out.